it's kind of just blossomed into this thing that's really fun to be a part of, and it's just
and
getting
I feel like the
bigger
cast
and
is
better.
already becoming a big family.
This show has the most beautiful music.
People initially were like, let me show my gratitude and thanks through like music and dance. And because music is still to so many people in so many cultures a form of ritual. My name is Melanie Rose Thomas. I am the composer, lyricist, and creator of The Cave.
Good evening, good night, you've come just in time to start the festivities.
The Cave takes place in an opium den at the turn of the century, and is inspired by a bunch of myths and fairy tales and folklore.
The Cave is about a young woman who finds her own voice, which I think is very important because that's something that we don't see in fairy tales a lot. Like, we see voices given to women. I'm Chris Vett, and I'm going to be the director for The Cave.
I'm Ashley Koya, and I will be playing Willow. Willow is our heroine of The Cave, and she's that princess, virgin archetype. And the show is about Willow really learning how to face darkness. Willow's story is about really learning how to deal with grief and accept that emotional depth can't be achieved unless she accepts grief into her life. After dealing with her mother's loss and dealing with the emotional loss of her father, we see her really struggle with callousing that over rather than learning how to deal with her feelings. And we all know the Beauty and the Beast story. So to me, what is most interesting is seeing what happens if that gets switched. We don't see a lot of female characters that are multidimensional, that retain all of the archetypes that is in each and every single woman. We have the virgin, the whore, and the crone, like the witch, inside all of us.
I started off by hiring smart actors, which is half the battle.
Hey, my name is Paris Marcel, and I'll be playing the father.
Give some comfort.
The father starts off already yearning for something. He starts off already kind of having a missing piece. He's kind of like up and down, trying to see the light, trying not to see the light, trying to do better, giving in to the darkness type situation.
My name is Mark Taylor, and I'm playing the Master. The Master is the guy who runs The Cave. The Cave is an opium and prostitution den, a land of sin and ecstasy. And I ended up there because I was cursed by a witch who decided that unless I could find someone and truly love them, then I would have to spend the rest of my life sort of in this undead, forever young but not feeling state.
Undine is one of the sisters, one of the three sisters, Willow's sister. And Layla is a very enthusiastic cave member. And she, is in love with the Master and kind of is a big obstacle in terms of Willow's story because she's threatened by Willow.
Celestina is one of the three sisters. When her mother passes, although she's feeling a lot of grief and pain, her character tries to rise above that grief and sort of move forward and progress because she knows that there's sort of light at the end of the tunnel. Charlotte, on the other hand, is one of the prostitutes in the cave. She was left in the cave by her husband, who left her there because he needed her to pay off his debts.
And I always like to give performers that type of freedom because you hire actors so that they can act. So I like to give them feedback that stimulates them, but it's still in the world of what they came up with. It's very collaborative. That's the type of room that I just like to have in general, where by the end, we will have made a piece of art together, all of us.
Earth of ashes, earth of stone, dirt of voices, dirt of souls, with flowers dried, I rest on your ground.
This show has the most beautiful music.
When I was thinking about writing the piece and thinking about the structure of it, I knew I wanted it to be completely music. To me, music, it's the first form of worship. It's the way that people initially were like, let me show my gratitude and thanks. I think it's really poignant in theater.
Daddy spent the money, Daddy spent the time. Awful nice of you to want to save Daddy's life. You've got the world up above, life in the sun. Don't you think that Daddy has had his fun?
Thus far in rehearsals, we've been almost exclusively working on the music. We've been digging into the music like we would as if there really wasn't even going to be any staging, and we'd be doing it as a concert. And with that, we've been finding so many exciting things inside of just the music.
My name's Aaron Lindenberg. I am the musical director of The Cave. I love when my very sort of like mechanical and kind of obsessive process of like plugging things into computer notation software, when that is transformed into, you know, music in air and people singing and playing instruments, I get to bounce my ideas off of other musicians, have them sort of digest them and spit something back out that's even better than what I gave them in the first place.
My name's Sam Monaco, and I'll be doing the percussion on The Cave. Well, I think I was drawn into The Cave because the sound and the concept were so unique. I hadn't heard anything quite like it before.
It's just getting bigger and better every time I play it and play in it and partake.
It's a folk opera, which I've never heard before. Like, that's amazing.
And this music is stunning. I like how it's a blend of a bunch of different things.
I use the term folk as an umbrella term. And at the time, I was listening to a lot of jazz, like New Orleans jazz, a lot of gypsy music, Balkan music. In The Cave, there is a lot of like contemporary Americana singer-songwriter sound to it, but with that, there's musical theater.
I really think that this is like the new thing in musical theater, this folk musical, and it's so important. You don't get to have rich characters like this in a lot of musicals, so I think that it's important that this type of story gets told more and more.
Each time there's a production of it, it doesn't ever feel real. It's very surreal. The Cave has been in development for 5 years now, and it's had multiple workshop productions. It had a production at the Hollywood Fringe that won a couple of awards.
Seeing new work is such a positive thing, and like bringing new life to something, it's just going to be an amazing experience. And this particular show really can relate to a bunch of different people.
Being a part of the younger generations, we're always yearning for something, you know, like placement, acceptance, love, like all that. So with that being a part of the challenge of fighting for family, I feel like that allows the audience to be very wide.
It's pretty music, but the circumstances aren't always pretty. It's a very realistic type of, there's a lot of honesty in the magic.
The Cave is happening this March in New York City, and you can find out more information at thecavefolkopera.com.
What is one word to describe the cave?
Mystical.
Sexy.
Laughter.
Dangerous.
Smoky.
Scandalous.
Atmospheric.
Seductive.
Beautiful.
Perseverance.
I'll go with twisted. Everything will be a twist. You'll think it's something and then it's gonna twist and you're gonna be like, okay, I didn't see that coming, but I like it, I love it, I'm with it.